Hello, Crystal Palace. Welcome to the Upper Norwood Library Hub's Library Live Lunch. This is a place to share positive stories, useful information about the local community, to maybe find out about the community in a bit more depth and to keep us all connected during this time. So my guest today is Louise Armour, who is a local reflexologist who started and runs her own reflexology and wellbeing business called Attune Wellbeing. Louise, lovely to have you today. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us a bit about reflexology. What is it?
Well, thanks for having me. So reflexology is a holistic therapy, and it's based on the theory that we have reflex points in our hands and our feet, which correspond to every different part, every organ, different part of the body. And so that applying different pressure techniques to these reflexes has a corresponding effect on the part of the body that corresponds with that reflex. So it's a very gentle, non-invasive therapy, which is super relaxing, and it's about helping your body find balance and letting your body do the healing that it needs, so sort of promoting the healing systems in your body. So that's it in a nutshell.
Fantastic. And I guess from what you've just said that the Attune Wellbeing comes directly from that.
Yes. So thinking about what I wanted to kind of create with the business, sort of the sort of definition of attune is both to bring into harmony and as well as to make aware. So it kind of fit perfectly with sort of where I was wanting to go with business and with my reflexology, because health is all about, as a holistic therapy, it's about the result is harmony between body, mind, emotions, spirit, all of it combined. So and to kind of create harmony between all these things, we need to be aware of all these things. So that hence where the name came from. And a sort of saying that I really love is listen to your body when it whispers, so you don't have to hear it scream. So I really like this, so just but we need to be quiet, we need to be listening to hear what it's got to tell us. And my kind of passion is helping people do that and let them connect with their bodies and just improve awareness, and then support them in kind of trying to create and maintain this balance and overall well-being.
Fab. You just reminded me something somebody else said to me in the last couple of weeks. I can't remember who it was, but something about when a cat scratches, it's because you've missed the cues leading up to it. And that what you just said about hearing your body whisper so you don't have to hear it scream, that just kind of connected for me with that.
Yeah. It's definitely something that, as soon as I heard it, made a lot of sense. And I think a lot of us in our kind of busy lives kind of forget that, and we don't, we push away those niggles or okay, I can just get through it, doesn't matter, push it away, numb it. And actually that's when we need to, if we start listening to it, then we can resolve the issue before it develops into something maybe a lot more problematic later down the line.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So just before I ask you a bit about your background and things, I just want to say hello to Nick, Julie, Samantha and Martin, who are all watching, and welcome to anybody else whose name we can't see on the streams. If you have any questions for Louise or any comments, please do put them in the comments of whatever social media you're on, and we'll try and answer questions as we go. Yeah. So Louise, tell us what got you into reflexology, got you interested in it?
Yeah, so I kind of first found it a couple of years ago now, and I was kind of looking for anything really at the time that could help me in a very difficult time, and I started looking at holistic therapies because I kind of needed something that was going to help support my body, like my physical body, kind of cope with and recover from the real impact that my emotional stress was having on it. I never really realized that before, how, you know, how much our bodies are affected by it. So I did, and I had it, and it kind of pretty much blew my mind, you know, how powerful it was. And, you know, I liked how kind of at the time it was, you know, very non-invasive. So I only had to take my shoes and socks off, you know, and that was something that really helped me at the time when you're feeling it, you know, maybe not like with massage when you know, need to take off more of your clothes. But, you know, and also it was super relaxing. So it was just very supportive, you know, I'm covered in a blanket, feeling really kind of, you know, it's just a really lovely kind of, it was perfect for me at the time. And then I just found it really fascinating. And so I wanted to learn more. And so I decided to go and train in it with the London School of Reflexology. And I guess just because when you found something that helps you, you kind of then want to sort of pass it on and share it with others, and in the hope that maybe you might be able to help one other person, you know. So that's kind of how I've come to it, really.
Lovely. Yeah, thank you. That's all of this about linking kind of mind and body and things. It rings very true for me as a singer and teacher as well. That's all about a sort of balance and how mind and body affect each other and things. So that really rings very true for me. Yeah, I've got I have a question from Christine, who says anything that helps with mind and body during these periods of COVID-19 and working from home, etc., is a great thing. So it's a comment, not a question. But actually, Christine, we are going to be, well, Louise is going to be showing us a couple of things a little bit later on that I hope you're all going to join in with from home.
Yeah.
And also, this is probably a good time to just mention that she's going to be running a live stream session tomorrow at 11 through the Library Hub Facebook and YouTube channels. Certainly Facebook, not sure about the other one, but I'm going to let you explain more about that in a little bit.
Yeah. Well, no, it's really great. Yeah, because I mean, obviously during the last, what are we in now, 3-4 months, it's kind of changed how I can practice as a reflexologist, because normally I would be working as a kind of mobile therapist, going to people's homes and workplaces and giving treatments, but physical treatments, being there. So obviously that's had to stop very abruptly. And since the lockdown, I think it all sort of happened quite naturally and sort of organically, but I started thinking, well, how can I help people, you know, when I can't physically be there to treat them? And reflexology is one of the sort of only therapies that you can effectively apply to yourself, which is great. So obviously I don't want to do myself out of a job. It's nowhere near as good as having the actual thing, but it's really, I mean, I use it daily on myself, and you know, we'll tell clients as well how they can support themselves in between treatments. So it is something that I have done before that. And so I then developed into these online sessions, which kind of started at first just sort of telling people a bit about reflexology and like showing them a couple of points, like a couple of reflexes, and then it sort of developed into then full sessions devoted to kind of a specific thing. At first it was about supporting people with, you know, the stress and anxiety that lockdown has obviously inevitably caused, and what, you know, people can do, and it gives people a sort of a little bit of sense of control, you know, in such uncertain times. Like, okay, what can I do just for, you know, even a couple of minutes, just to help, you know, calm my nerves, basically. So yeah, that's kind of, and then tomorrow will be a little bit of a sort of taster of the online session. So it will be a chance, if people don't know anything about reflexology, you know, I'll be talking about, you know, what it is and its benefits in a bit more detail. and then also showing a few reflex points that are specific to kind of stress and anxiety. So if people are interested, then that's a good thing to come along to.
Fantastic. I think also at this point with them, as well as the sort of the stress of the situation, we're all just a lot more static than we might normally be, you know, not traveling to work at all. Just, I would normally have several different places I was going to in a day. I'd probably run up and down the escalators to the tube. I'd walk as much as I could. And now I'm literally living in one room and doing all of my work on a screen. So there's the sort of, as well as the big picture of the situation, there's literally quite big just daily life changes, isn't there, as well? And
Absolutely.
having anything to sort of keep things moving, and I guess give ourselves a schedule, something that helps with the schedule and is beneficial for your body is a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're so right. And I think, you know, everyone's got a very different lockdown story and situation. But yeah, I think what I've sort of seen is everyone maybe giving themselves a little bit of a break, because I think, you know, at the beginning we were all going to learn a new language, we were going to bake everything that we could possibly ever bake, you know, we all put a lot of pressure on ourselves to achieve, and I think gradually we've maybe just sort of turned on a bit of self-compassion of, okay, we're already dealing with like this really, really turbulent, really, you know, stressful time worldwide. You know, we've got to support ourselves in some way, and reflexology is so good for that, you know, and just being like, it's okay, I'm not gonna maybe, you know, you know, solve the world problems today or whatever it might be, but just being a bit, you know, kind and gentle and nurturing ourselves when we need it more than ever. So
and if actually we all come out of lockdown having looked after ourselves a little bit better in some ways, that would be a really good thing,
a great thing. And I do hope, you know, and believe that it will, like, you know, this will carry on when sort of however the new sort of normal starts to, you know, materialize. We will have hopefully learned a lot about, you know, ourselves as well. And another thing, like, you know, if you can't go outside, go inside. And I kind of like that, you know.
That's lovely.
Go further in, and, you know, and you've got that time, and it's, you know, so, and I hope then, you know, if we do that and we all look after ourselves, we can then go out and create a better society and world.
I think there's no shields at the moment, is there? So I would definitely use being busy and running around between places as a way of suppressing stuff, so I don't have to think about it because I don't have time to think about it. And now I'm in one room with no shield from myself. I think, and so you have to choose, I guess, to deal with it or to really struggle.
And that's really scary for a lot of people. You know, well, for everyone, I think it's just a scary prospect. But I think it's something I think a lot of people do need, and we do. And I think often our lives are so busy, so we just don't really get the chance. And also just, it's easier being distracted. A lot easier. So, you know, it is, I think that you're right. A lot of people, have had that kind of realization, but that it is for the best in the end, even though it might be very tough. So, and, you know, it sort of goes beyond reflexology, but it, you know, it is such a important thing that we all do. And you have to kind of start with yourself, don't you, and look after yourself, because what use are you to anyone else if, you know, if you're, you know, not good in your own self. So
if you're not looking after yourself, you can't look after anybody else, really. Effectively.
And I think that's maybe again a realization that people are sort of starting to have, that's, you know, very important.
Some major benefits to being forced into slowing down and a closer acquaintance with ourselves, maybe eventually.
Exactly. So and also appreciating the things that we, you know, can't do during lockdown. And I think one big one for me, and especially obviously with reflexology, is, not being able to physically be with people. And reflexology is a lot to do with, physically showing up, for your clients. And yes, it's about the sort of physical touch, but it's working with energy of the body. And so you just can't get that through a screen. And that has been a massive kind of challenge, trying to help support people, but knowing there's only a certain point that you can. And so I'm, really can't wait till I can get back to actually treating. It's going to be great, whenever that is.
And actually, on that note, we have a question from Christine, who says, may I ask how much a session is and where is the practice? Thanks.
So I am working as a mobile therapist at the moment. And I'm based in Crystal Palace. So at the moment it is for, because of the limited amount of travel I can do, we'll probably be in Crystal Palace and the sort of surrounding areas. And then going forward, yes, in London, but I don't have one base at the moment. So it's treating people. It used to be in their homes and workplaces, but I'm thinking that it's most likely going to be just in the home, because not many people are going to be back in their offices for maybe some time. There's different prices depending on the length of treatment. So, but a basic one starts at £50 for a home visit. So, and that's a 60-minute treatment. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Fab, thanks. I've got a comment from Nick as well, who says, that's so true, this about what we were just talking about. Sometimes I feel a bit guilty about just watching Netflix or whatever and not finding a cure for cancer. So Nick, you're not alone with that. I think
not
we're all
alone at all. And I think also just having that awareness, that's about like being distracted, and we all need it, and that's okay, and it's sort of having awareness that, okay, maybe I just need a bit of time out and just to watch whatever show you are on watching on Netflix. So and it is that, and it's everyone's different, like what they need, and that might be what you need in that moment, and allowing that a bit, but doing it, anything we do, because we all do things that we know that maybe aren't the most healthy for us. If the first step is just sort of starting to become aware of them. And so I think that's I'm always like, well, I'm watching Netflix, but I'm aware that I'm doing this as a distraction. It's okay. First step.
Awesome. Brilliant. I think this might be a good time for a demo.
Okay, yeah, all right. Well, so I wanted to show everyone the kind of most sort of powerful reflex in reflexology, which is the solar plexus. And not everybody maybe knows what the solar plexus is, but it's a really important part of our nervous system, and in especially our fight and flight, so our kind of stress response. So it's located on our palm, in the very center of our palm. So, and what we're going to do is we're just going to place the thumb of our other hand, we place the tip, you find the sort of, look for the center, and then you gently sort of apply like a little bit of pressure, not too firm. And if you pop your hands on the behind so that you can kind of support, so you've got something to push against. And then once you've done that, we're just going to relax that hand. And then gently, we're going to do tiny little rotations with our thumb on that point. And you want to think we're not doing, big circular movements. It's a very like specific pinpoint kind of rotation on that point. And it can be quite a sensitive area. And generally, we just hold it for, a couple of seconds. And then we can try on the other hand, it's exactly the same place as well. And so we sort of bend the thumb in so that we can apply it with the tip. So if you have got nails, this can be a little bit painful. So then you can just adjust to sort of use more of the pad of the thumb. And then we relax that hand and then gently rotate, small little circular movements. It doesn't matter which direction you go in. And the pressure is completely dependent on, what feels comfortable for you. So yeah, when I'm just showing you up here so that people can see, but when you're doing it, you can just do it on your lap. And what we'll do is we'll just combine it with just a very quick breathing exercise. So we're just going to, if we just gently close our eyes, and if you start to apply the pressure to the solar plexus reflex, and we're just going to take 3 slow, deep breaths in through our nose and out through our mouth. And on the inhale, we want to think about expanding our abdomen. And then on the exhale, slowly exhaling and relaxing. And inhaling and exhaling. Last time. And exhaling. And then we can swap to the other side. So we're on our solar plexus, and we'll inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last time, inhale and exhale. And then we can gently release the reflex, and we can just open our eyes, and hopefully you feel nice and calm. So our solar plexus is that area in our stomach that can often feel quite tight when we're feeling stressed or anxious. So basically that's what we're working to kind of release that tension. So the sort of abdominal breathing really helps with that, because our breath can come really shallow when we're feeling kind of stressed and tense up everything. So it's about kind of releasing that and just really deep, even 3 or 4 deep breaths, working your solar plexus will help just in those moments that you just need a bit of calm and it's like a de-stress button is how I kind of see it. So I'll be doing that, you can do it whilst you're on Zoom or in your Zoom meetings, or,
Brilliant, that's a good tip.
It's a good one, and no one knows, needs to know what you're doing. You can just do like quietly, just some nice deep breaths, and then it's just a way of sort of instantly just calming down the body and saying, look, we don't, we're okay. We've got no situation we need to run away from. We can be calm.
So I had quite an interesting emotional reaction to that, actually.
Did you?
All sort of physical and emotional, because it sort of, I felt like my adrenaline kind of ramped up slightly, and then there was stuff that sort of wanted to let go, and then it sort of did a little bit, and
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Eleanor. Well, it's as I said, it's powerful. It really is, and it's so different for everybody, and it depends on what's happening for you right now. Is how you're gonna, is the effect that you're gonna have, and again, listen to that. So what's it, what's that saying? What do you need to do? Is there something, and then you say to yourself, okay, what can help me right now? What can I go and do that will help? And we're moving energy, and it's the whole thing is clearing energy blockages. So if there is anything that is stopping, if you are suppressing anything, if you're holding on to anything, you can have quite an emotional reaction to it, and it's not just purely physical or emotional. It's all of it, like I said. So
oh, it's fab, thank you. I shall keep trying that. And actually, one of the things I love about what you just said, and about kind of yoga and other holistic things that I do, is that the breathing all ties in so well with singing, which is what I do. But so it's lovely to have an additional thing to kind of add to that might help unlock things.
Yes. Well, especially that one as well, and also the diaphragm will be a really good one, because of singing. I'm imagining that's exactly what you need to do. You can't be tense there, because otherwise you won't be using your full lung capacity. So that's really interesting. I haven't really thought about that connection, but well, I'll show the diaphragm as well in tomorrow's session. Cool. So
amazing, thank you. Cool. Tell us about details for tomorrow, and how people can get in touch with you.
So well, as you said, so it'll be 11 o'clock tomorrow on the same live Facebook page, and if people would like to, you could have like some hand cream or some hand oil, something like that. Just, it makes it slightly nice. You can do it without if you don't have anything or you don't like it, but it just makes it slightly nicer kind of to apply the pressure on the reflexes. So that's all you really need. Maybe just come with open mind and know that you'll have a bit of time for yourself, and this is something, as we've talked about, is so good. And then if people want to get in touch, you can email me, and it's hello@attunewellbeing.co.uk, or you can follow me on Instagram, and that's at attune_wellbeing, and also on Facebook as well, which I'm at Attune Wellbeing. So those are the ones that, that will have all the kind of latest information and all about my online sessions at the moment, and then when I can treat, obviously more information about when that will be.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. That's in my diary, so I will see you there.
Yes, looking forward to it. Thanks very much for today.
No, it's a pleasure. It's very lovely to chat. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yes.
So everybody who's watching, I'm sure you know that we have quite a big live stream program, which includes Louise tomorrow morning, lots of other things, meditation and mindfulness if you're looking for more holistic therapy, singing classes, cross stitch with Alice. We have running now with Chris on a Thursday night. I had a look at the first one yesterday, and I some really good tips that I'm going to use when I go for a run tomorrow. And yeah, just a huge range of things. So please do check it out if you haven't already. If you are interested in presenting a live stream, we do have some slots available. We'd love to hear from you. And also, if you'd like to be a guest on the Library Live Lunch, we'd also love to hear from you. So give us a shout at info@unlt.org for either of those. The other really important thing to tell you about, which you may have heard already, but if not, we are launching a new project called All Alone Together, which is about the impact of COVID-19 on the local community. We would love you to fill in a very, very short survey. It will take no more than 10 minutes, probably quite a lot less. There's 4 questions just about how it's affected you, your life and your work, which firstly will help us looking for how we might help going forward. There's also, if anybody fancies being interviewed by me, then I would love to chat to you. We're going to create a library of voices. So very, very short little podcasts of people telling about their experiences in their own words, in their own voices. And apart from anything else, I think it will be amazing, in a year even, to come back and remember all the little tiny everyday details that we've forgotten, because, those are the things that we forget, I think. So things like, I don't know, this is ridiculous, but I've had backache for the first time in my life. I spend my life under normal circumstances running around London carrying the most ridiculously heavy bags of sheet music and sometimes baby mats for my parent and baby choir, and sometimes enormous heavy banners and stuff. And I have never really had backache before, but I have it now. And just, those silly little details that of how our lives have been affected, that I think we'll forget quite quickly. So anyway, I'm not looking necessarily, you don't have to have a massively unusual story to tell, although we'd love to hear that too. But just, I'm really keen to hear about people's everyday experiences of being in lockdown. So if you are willing to be involved, and the more engagement we get from the community, the more we can help and going forward, and the more interesting it's going to be. So if you're willing to start by filling in the survey, that'd be amazing. And there is an option to tick to say if you would like to be interviewed. And this is on the website, which is going to appear in front of you hopefully in a second in the comments. We'd really love to hear from you, so please do get involved and spread the word, because the more people that get involved, the better, and the more interesting. So excellent. Wow, it's the weekend, isn't it? Brilliant. Have a good weekend, everybody. Do tune in to Louise tomorrow at 11 if you are interested, and I may see you there. And see you on Monday. I think I have Louise Hayward on Monday, who is a makeup artist, so that should be interestingly different. Brilliant. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.